Hi, everyone. Mike Gallagher, FullAccessSports.com, and this week a couple of defenders from the Willamette Bearcat team. Both of these guys are former Northwest Conference Student Athletes of the Week on the defensive side, and I'm talking about junior Jack Nelson and Tyson Giese will join me right now. And these two guys have been very, very instrumental this year on the defense of the Bearcats, and I want to start with this week's Special Teams Northwest Conference Student Athlete of the Week, and that's Tyson Giese. A big interception for 44 yards. A 74-yard kickoff return this year for a touchdown, your second one of the year. I know you're not getting used to this, but this is becoming a little bit, I wouldn't say repetitive, but certainly it's something you like to do. You love returning that football. Congratulations on the award.
Thank you. Yeah, I'd say scoring touchdowns never gets old, but yeah, it was a big play in the game, and we were down 3 scores, I think, in the fourth quarter, so I mean, I was just trying to do whatever I could to get our team back in the game, and unfortunately we couldn't come back and win, but you know, it was a tough loss, but we got to bounce back this week.
Certainly do. You know, one of the things is the challenges, they always make you better. At PLU, a loss of 35-24, the first loss of the year. This to a ranked team at that time, number 17. We were 21, and Jack Nelson, if you'll step in here as well. You've been a defensive student athlete of the week. When you look at the challenges like a loss to a good team like PLU, it's emotional. It's physical. It's a lot of things. How do you guys bounce back from a challenge like that? That was a tough loss.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you, you got to learn from your adversities. We learned definitely that we could handle some adversity with some defensive stands in the second half. We watched the film on Monday nights and really learn from our mistakes, but move on and look forward for the next week.
And, of course, the next week doesn't get any easier as we slide over. Tyson, I got the same question for you. You're a 3 to 4 year starter. You're all conference, you're preseason All-American, all the things I know you don't like to talk about. But certainly, you know, PLU is one of those games along with Linfield that you're always up for. But to lose to them the way we did, that's got to be tough to bounce back from.
Yeah, when you play a team that's solid in all 3 aspects of the game, you can't really afford to have the mistakes we did in the first half.
Yeah.
We just put ourselves in too big of a hole. But we did find that we can bounce back and respond to that adversity, like Jack was saying, and play good football in the second half. And we just got to carry that over this week in practice and then into Saturday. And just we got to play our best game this week with our backs against the wall and step up.
Backs against the wall in terms of playoffs, but one of the things is, you know, handling adversity. What have been the strong points for the Bearcats this year on defense? I don't want to talk about offense because the guys from offense aren't here, but you guys have had so many stalwart players, guys that come off the bench and play well. What's been one of the strong points?
Well, like at the start of the year, we had to replace a lot of starters from last year, and we had guys step up and just fill those places. And definitely just, I'd say, preparation. Mm-hmm. It's been better than any year I've ever had here. Wow. Guys are committed. We harp effort on every play, and I feel like for the most part in every game we've done that in the games and in practice, I would say. And, yeah, guys just stepped up and played hard.
And Jack, you're one of the defensive leaders of this team as well. You could maybe add on to that a little bit. What's been some of the standpoints, either on the field, off the field, in a game time? What's been some of the positive stuff?
Well, I really got to give credit to the coaches. They come up with a beautiful scheme every single week, and when we execute it efficiently and everyone does their responsibility, we're a really tough and solid defense.
And, of course, we've had 6 home games. You're going into number 5 this year against number 2 Linfield. Has the home field advantage been an advantage despite the loss to PLU?
Well, playing at home is always a wonderful thing. You have the fans coming out to support Willamette University Bearcats. We love coming out here. We love being on our home turf, and we really love defending it.
And, of course, Tyson, this is home turf for you, and that is that, you know, not only did you play at Sprague High School, but you've been a 4-year performer here. Has a home field. It's nice to have in 6 games, I would think.
Definitely, it's nice just to have the routine every morning. You don't have to worry about traveling. You know what time you're going to get there, get to the field, get loose, and so that's just reassuring to know that. And I just love playing in front of the home crowd. You can't beat it.
Yeah, exactly right. Whether it's the home crowd from Willamette or some of those Olympian fans from years gone by. You know, Linfield, number 2 in the nation, just knocking people out. 55 points a game, giving up 10. They've got a great quarterback in Mr. Yoder who has really shown a lot. He is kind of the Josh Dean, if you will, of the Wildcats. What do you think about when you go up against a team that's undefeated, top 3 or 2 in the nation in the case of Linfield? How do you get by all of that media hype and the numbers and the stats and prepare to beat a team like Linfield?
Well, obviously our opponent this week, they're very skilled, both sides of the ball, but really you just got to worry about your group and your team and your scheme and just worry about doing your job. You can't really focus on who you're playing. It really just comes down to what we do as a defense and how we defend them. And we just got to focus on our team and what we're doing this week, and we'll be fine.
And Jack, when you talk about defending in the linebacker spot in there, you've got an array of a lot of area to cover, as does Tyson in the secondary. How do you defend the offense that Linfield has? If it's not off tackle, they're going to pass across the middle. They go for the short stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to harp on it again. Everyone doing their responsibility. It's a puzzle piece that comes together, and it's a really strong defense when everybody does their job. They're a good, solid team with solid skill, but we're going to come out and we're going to give them a good running.
Can you say, without saying too much, any type of thing you might be able to take advantage of?
Like every week we're going to come out and try and get them one-dimensional, whether take away the pass or take away the run. Once we get one down, the other becomes a lot easier, and everyone can focus on their specific deal.
With all this preparation, we say it every week, classroom is important, and sometimes more so. Student-athlete, as a junior, you've got to stay up on top of everything. You can't be at practice. You can't miss that, but you can't miss class either. What are you studying? How's been the challenge this year for you to balance everything?
Well, I'm an economics major. Really loving academics, so that really helps with me doing well in school. You got to find your rhythm, got to find your happy medium balance between football and academics. Everyone here does a great job of doing it, and the coaches really help out with that.
That's one of the things I would talk to Tyson. You've watched it for 4 years, and we hear it at practice when we come out every week. It's study groups up after film or whatever special situation there is. Study hall, if you want to talk about that. As a senior, you look back. That's been helpful for you, I would assume, as well as other Bearcats.
Definitely. I mean, for me personally, I've had the luxury of coming back for a 9th semester, so I have a pretty light school load this semester, so it's been nice to just really kind of focus on football. But I'm working on my thesis right now, and I've just been putting that together, and that's been taking up most of my time in the classroom. But, I mean, yeah, it's really school first year, and football is a close second, but, I mean, it's tough over there in the classroom, and you got to spend some time on it. And definitely we get a lot of help as a football team in the classroom, and it's nice to have that.
Whether you're having a full loader at the end of their senior year like you, having a small load, there are no basket weaving classes at Willamette, and we know that for a fact. Talk a little bit about what you're studying and what you want to do with your degree.
Okay, I'm an econ major, and I'm really not sure what I want to do with the degree yet. My plans are kind of after this season, I want to go over to Europe and try and play some more football, but I don't have anything locked up for that yet. But I'm just gonna see where it takes me, and I feel confident in anything I'm gonna do moving forward.
You bet. Tyson Giza, this week's Special Teams Northwest Conference Player of the Week, and of course the big guy here, both of these guys 2-time Northwest Conference Players of the Week, just before Linfield getting ready for that one. With Jack and Tyson, I'm Mike Gallagher. Thanks for joining us, everyone, here on FullAccessSports.com.